is a super important lesson because you are only getting a couple on the Pythagorean theorem, and it is a huge chunk of your grade, mostly because we ran out of time. So I do not, unfortunately, have the amount of time to spend on this that I would like to. But because of the way all the assessments work in this class, we still have to get all of the points in. So this is just one really giant assessment. But also probably, in my opinion, probably the quickest one to figure out. So, the Pythagorean theorem states that if you have three sides of a right triangle, you can find the missing side using the equation a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It is essential that A and B are legs of the triangle and that C is the hypotenuse. So C will always be opposite the right angle. Okay? And that doesn't matter like what size or what shape the right triangle is. Wherever the right angle is, opposite that will always be C. And A and B can get flipped around, but C cannot. C must be the hypotenuse. Okay? Today, what we're going to be looking at is just solving for C. Eventually, we'll be solving for A and B as well, but today I just want to solve for C. So, if I have a triangle, first of all, this only works for right triangles, so you have to have a right angle. If you don't have a right angle, this theorem will not work. Our good friend Pythagoras, who proved this, doesn't work with things that aren't right angles. So if I've got a side here of 3, and a side there of 4, and I say this is x, you know what, I'm not going to use x. I can, but just for continuity's sake, I'm going to use C. I'll use C. Okay? So I've got a 3, a 4, and a C. We use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we plug the values we know in. A is 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. And like I said before, A and B could get flipped around. Like I could have 4 squared plus 3 squared. But that's one of the reasons why A and B can get flipped around is 3 squared plus 4 squared is the same as 4 squared plus 3 squared. So we'll have the same equation. But if I took C and flipped it with B, now we have a problem because that's a completely different equation. So opposite the right angle has to be by itself in the equation. Okay? 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16 equals c squared still. 9 plus 16 is 25. In order to solve, and you should have done this in algebra last year, in order to solve for a c squared, you take the square root of both sides. A lot of problems you're going to be able to see and say, oh, 25. Square root of 25 is 5. But you may have to put this into your calculator, so just be aware you may have to do that for some problems today. Square root of 25 is plus or minus 5 equals c. Distances, at least like measurements, lengths, can't be negative. So we know that c equals 5. Okay? So that's solving for C. Tomorrow we're going to get into A and B a little bit. Tomorrow will be A and B. Monday, the exam for this will become available. It is worth more points than any other exam. It's worth the whole Pythagorean theorem unit, which I don't love, but hopefully will help a lot of students get to passing if you do this. Okay? So you need to come in and you need to make sure that you do this one. So that one is available to you, and then that's next week is just getting everything done and getting everything ready to go. So go ahead and get to work on the homework, and I'll see you on